What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing? It's Lonnie. Here, gonna do your TXC Sunday market update. Kind of cool today in the Telegram. Was one of the more busy days I've seen in the exchange and trading tab, showing a lot of interest in that and building the investing side of the project. Not trying to take away from the mining side. I just want to make sure that that's clear and out there. The project is only successful if the mine is built. So priority number one, by far, the mine needs to be built. And the mining shares going towards that, and getting everybody involved into this passive income, earn it while you sleep, 130 plus years. It's not just for you, it's for your kids and your kids' kids kind of thing, to grow and build on. So, but one of the things that needs to maintain the pace is the market to maintain that value of what those shares are providing. Because getting a TXC coin right now is cool, but everybody that you tell about is going to ask, what is it worth? And then if you tell people about it and they sit there and they look and they say, well, the price is going down. Why would I want to invest in something that's going down? Anytime people are looking at that, they're looking at the short-sighted. They're probably looking short-sighted and not seeing the bigger picture, because when in doubt, zoom out and see what's going on. And so what we're looking at on this chart real fast is the March, or starting at the end of March into the end of June, and then going from June into September, and from September to basically that will end up in December. But what those rectangles represent is that growth period. So my mouse was not cooperating, so let's see if it's better now. We came from this point, the beginning of March, and then we went to the beginning of June on that gain, and we went from the beginning of June to the beginning of September, and now we're going to the end of the year. Realistically, to see that consistent growth over each quarter over quarter, the price value realistically needs to maintain 338. And while that varies from the path to 16 that we've seen, and to say that we're off track because we're not on the path to 16, I think is not stating the obvious. These are healthy stair steps up to building a quality, valued product that is going to be sustainable. Sustainable price action is what is needed for the mining value, so that you can see that those daily distributions are worth waiting for. So as we zoom in, again, these are daily candles. We can see where we kind of broke away. And this early mid-September kind of rally that took us off to the crazy high $7 price. This $7.15 price wasn't in the forecast till December. And if we go back and we look at this month, this growth, and then even if we doubled it this month and then doubled it again, that's kind of what that would be. And that would be a phenomenal growth trend, but that's also not the most realistic and most sustainable. These stair steps up are sustainable. So when the price deviated and broke away and really ran rampant above that, it triggered people into looking to take some profit. And then people follow people kind of thing. So as profit was starting to get taken, more people wanted to take profit. You also got to remember that we had a lot of millionaires created in this window, and there was a lot of people who were buying on the excitement of going to Asia to showcase in Thailand and in Singapore, And, maybe there's going to be a Bitcoin millionaire, or some of these crypto whales were going to come in and buy up and skyrocket. It's going to run to 10, 15, 25. A lot of that hype and craze created a little bit of a pump. Typically what comes after mega pumps is consolidation, if it's healthy, and pullback to build into this. There wasn't enough buying support to maintain this 5, because this September prices that we saw here of this mid 5 was forecasted for November. Over here, we did it in October, a month. This was 2 months early. This was 1 month early, and it shows that the market was still not ready to accept it, which is why we sold off. So with this profit momentum, or profit-taking momentum built in, it was countered by a nudge that came early and was to test to see if the market would sustain it again if it came back. And all it did was just brought out more profit-taking. So because this is basically back-to-back profit-taking in this range, and so many buyers were so excited to see that early achievement goal, they forgot to keep buying, and then sellers kind of controlled the market. This isn't necessarily that there was so many people trying to dump the coin or get out of the coin. It's just that for the price to go up, you almost have to think that there has to be 2 buyers to 1 seller. But for the price to go down, it could just be 1 seller to 1 buyer, because sell orders can accelerate a price down much faster than buy orders can accelerate a price up. Just kind of something to kind of think about going forward, and what we see. This wasn't people dumping and losing conviction in it. It was just that there was more people willing to take profit than there were people willing to buy and support. And kind of my goal in these videos that I'm making, it's not to create people and say, stop buying mining shares, only buy, invest in the coin, or try to put a priority of investing in the coin over buying mining shares, because investing in the coin at this point would never complete the mine and wouldn't complete all of the project's goals. But to maintain this price action, the investors who are also miners, as well as trying to become appealing to outside investors. Those outside investors bring their money from other projects or other jobs or other work and bring in liquidity that's not the miner's liquidity and is not TXC's liquidity to build the price. If we're only going to wait for nudges to decide what the price is, the liquidity is always going to be used and absorbed for the people who were in early to take profit. If there can be a controlled price movement of sustainable growth that's appealing to investors, you'll see outside money come in, which will bring in the liquidity to support those early investors taking their profit, and these new investors will come in looking at this $3 to $5 price point, and they're going to want to capture the same profit that the early investors in TXC did, looking at 3 to 5 times their investment. Well, 3 to 5 times their investment from 3 to 5 is $9 to $15. So the people that are going to buy into it now are going to hold back into that path to 16 and beyond. But we have to be, marketable to them and appealing to them. And the way that we do that is show consistent growth and support and resistance in a healthy market. Volume needs to be steady and building, or at least at a consistent level that shows that if any large coin holder wanted to buy or sell, it wouldn't cause a erratic movement of the price. We want to see some consistency and some steadiness, a steady ship kind of thing. But nonetheless, if we kind of come in here and see this week and how things are going, we're going to look around the 15th. Let's just get some trends going. We saw a big wick down on this candle. Again, the wicks are going to tell us those points of interest. Points of interest being support, resistance, or just pivot directions. No, that doesn't show up very good. Let's do yellow. Yellow sticks out with that. So I picked this one, large wick down and the bounce and recovers. I can see that there was some verified support here that it wanted to go up. I can see that it was tested and verified here and here, multi-touch. It did break below this one, but there was a pretty sharp move up, so I'm not too worried that this one wick went below. But I chose this wick as my second plot because it is the most recent from current of the wicks, of the large wicks down. So just to kind of show the bottom end of this trend. And so if we want to look for tops, we have a couple different options that we can look at. One, we can say, oh, this was a wick that came down, and then this and this are wicks. So what does this look like, just to see? Well, those are pretty parallel, and that's a pretty good channel, and that keeps us range bound in that. This obviously pivot point, and then our wick up. That's a great pivot point. This is likely a channel that we're kind of bouncing around in as we build up. We could even go one layer deeper, and we see this right on this big sell block, full body candle. So just the same as large wicks are points of interest, so are full bodies with no wicks. So if we just kind of look at where that one's at, where do we see another kind of test of the middle of this, or where it could be like a little bit of a breakout forming? There's no other real full bodies in this other than this large wick that showed some level of breakout or testing the resistance kind of thing, and then we settled around here, and then we started instantly right there. So that's not a bad point to look at. This wick is bigger than the body. That is a pretty decent point to look at, and it lines up with this one. So if we plot this one, it lines up with this one, and it even kind of lines up with these ones. So I'm going to just make this one be unique, and we're going to make this one orange just because it's not quite as important. You can see this one's starting to narrow, and this one's actually kind of widening. So to me, and then with this one being the support up, I kind of see something is nearing a point of inflection kind of thing. But just to show you this trend channel and how we can see price action moving in it, price came down, found support, buyers stepped in and wanted to press. There was even a little bit of an injection of liquidity that came in that caused a big move up. And then there was almost some momentum that built on this also on Sunday, and price was starting to get going. But then it stalled, and it stalled right at that 375 level. That is lines up with October's zone, which kind of shows that buyers are a month behind. Buyers are not trying to buy they're not looking ahead, because if everybody was looking ahead at the February or March kind of end goal of 16, these $3 buys, you would be buying hand over fist as many as you can get. Buyers are kind of still bargain hunting with the price action and looking to get in at a good point, which is totally fine. Building that support. This 375 will be strong on the next test to 5 and the next move up. But so we came up, hit that resistance, came back down, and came all the way back down to this trend zone area before trying to test up. It went up and was trying to come up again. No momentum, stalled, and that's kind of where we see this middle trend form a little bit of a resistance point. This is going to be weaker than this one and this one, but this is still a line of interest to follow. So we went back down and tested this again. Shows a lot of strength in this, that it held a little bit sideways, because this is also, as we saw from the 3-month ladder staircase, this is a price point of kind of where we could be and where we could see. So we touched that support, and got a little bit of a boost from some extra liquidity coming in. Maybe a large buyer stepped in and saw a good point of interest, and there was the run and the test up of that upper channel. It tested it again to see if it wanted to break out. Didn't, so we came down really sharp. Sharp move up, sharp move down, typical action, and then found the support again, made the run up, had to build up around here because we saw this kind of middle channel or middle trend line kind of forming, and it crossed right at the horizontal pivot point of October's price goal. So that's where we see this, and then it tested, failed, and kind of came down. We had a quick test of the uptrend, came back up, test, and then this is getting shorter. So as this kind of narrows these prices that spike up and then come down, while this is building, and it's building, right here where this horizontal resistance point and consolidation zone from the past is going to be met with this uptrend channel. That pressure from all these compressions is going to be large, and typically that's where you see a big breakout. This is a point that if I was trading, I would be looking for a breakout. And because of this point nearing, it's also nearing at the end of the month, which we know with TXC based on how things have gone, that is typically when we see the nudges go into place. So buyers and sellers are kind of slowing down in anticipation of trying to see what's coming and if there's going to be a nudge this month, and what we got going on. So because nobody's buying right now, and then also people are probably not selling as much. It's just an inflection point, and that's why we're seeing the slowing volume towards the end of the month, where when there was a lot more confidence and the pattern was persistent, where the price or the market traded all month, and then kind of randomly in the last 10 days or so, the nudge kicked it up, and then everybody got really excited and kind of kept going. Now since we nudged a whole month early and burned through a ton of liquidity, do we need to skip this month for a nudge, or is it coming? Is it going to be a bigger nudge because we showed that $5 was very resistant? That uncertainty is kind of why we see some slow action in buyers. But despite that, I think we got to zoom out and see that we're in a positive channel. These days are going in the right direction, and we are moving up towards that downtrend that formed off of the top at 715, and the downtrend when kind of that negative sentiment kicked in when Bobby said that he wasn't going to put in any liquidity because the market's not supporting it. Well, then everybody kind of stopped buying, and well, if he's not going to buy, I don't want to buy kind of thing. So that's what triggered this kind of avalanche. But now we're building back up to test this downtrend again, and then that's where the break above this could get on top of this channel. Whether it be this channel or this orange channel, remains to be unseen. December 2nd would be a great day to be above it, because that would be putting it in this $5 range and testing this again. And there's going to be some consolidation there. There's going to be a lot of sellers looking to take profit this time that missed out the last time. And again, that's okay. They deserve to sell and take profit. And hopefully there's enough buyers who are looking at this and see that this price is built up and forms strong support, and feel confident enough to buy at 5 for the next level up, 210, 215, 220, and to keep going on and on beyond. You have to buy at 5 before we could get to 10. We, as volume builds and confidence builds with this price and uptrend continuing, build all the floors in between. We need some 420, we need some 450, we need some 480, and all those will be support going above 5. if we come over here and look at the exchanges, because the goal to get on is to get on the coin market cap and get verified. Sorry. And once you getting verified on coin market cap is going to, one, bring the tier 1 exchanges, but two, a lot of the naysayers and the bashers that are out there are going to have to swallow a lot of words when the project is verified by coin market cap. And a lot of those rug pull and Ponzi scheme and pyramid scheme and all those cries are going to be kind of moot, because they're not going to be backed by nothing when coin market cap verifies. So you also see these, Bitmart and MEXC are the biggest 2 exchanges that TXC is listed on. So seeing those as the top 2 volume is great. DexTrade was that first. There's a lot of people who like the decentralized exchanges. That's kind of the crypto mantra. And that's fine. And not to try to tell anybody to get off of DexTrade or don't use DexTrade or you're a fool for using DexTrade. If that's what you're familiar with, trading it is fine. Use what you want to use. But for people who are coming in and looking to create a new exchange account or new investment account, or just wanting to get onto multiple to have multiple access, Bitmart and MEXC clearly are going to have the highest liquidity right now. But a personal opinion of mine is it's a US-based crypto coin. And Biconomy and Pionex are the 2 US-friendly exchanges that TXC is on. And the volume doesn't show that those are the favorites yet. So when people are signing up as a new miner, introducing them, as you're doing your part as a sponsor, showing them the value of the mine, that's great. You're talking 135 plus years of mining. You're getting steady income every day. That right now those coins are growing in value as you're holding them. This could be passed down from generation to generation. That's great value, and you want to sell them that. But hey, don't also forget that we're only getting about a half a coin a day right now, and that's going to go down as more and more people become miners. There's going to be some people who are like, wow, I missed an opportunity. I kind of feel, how do I get more coins faster? You got to be able to show them these exchanges and show them that, no matter at what point you're buying, there's potential for increase as this project builds out. And as TXC grows itself and gets Bitmart and MEXC, Biconomy, Pionex, and XT, XT being the newest one, that's probably why the volume is so low on it. But these ones are the tier 2 level exchange that are going to contribute to CoinMarketCap verifying and then getting into those tier 1 exchanges. And then by being on those tier 1 exchanges, that's going to open up to a lot of outside liquidity that's not from TXC's liquidity. There'll be less dependence on Bobby putting in these liquidity injections to build up the price, because not only is the market, but also these investors are building up the price with outside liquidity and outside money coming in. And then that allows the money that TXC raises for the mine to be continued into the mine, or whenever we come up and we hit these $5 and $10 and $15 hurdles that are going to trigger a lot more selling than what the market might be able to hold, the nudge could be used to hold that level and not push up to that level. The market needs to build up to the level. The liquidity buildup is the support to kind of maintain that level. So, seeing these other exchanges is great. I know, some people are going to sit there and say, no, we love DexTrade because it's decentralized. And I'm not trying to speak bad about it, but just doesn't report reserves. And there's a lot of other volume and statistics that these exchanges report to CoinMarketCap to be verified projects. And Dex doesn't do that. So I think, as new miners can kind of come on and they want to build their coin purse or wallet, faster than what the mining distributes, and they want to bring in $20 a week or $100 a month or $1,000 a month, or hey, I got my Christmas bonus and I want to put in $1,000 in TXC. Got to help them be able to get on these exchanges and be comfortable buying. Obviously building the price, we want to do market buys and push it up, but you also want to make sure that you as an individual are maintaining good profit points. So as much as we want to say buy at these supports, you're not ready to buy at these support levels until you're ready to see it at this level. So if you're not comfortable buying here, if you're not comfortable buying here, you should buy here. And if you're not comfortable buying here, are you comfortable buying here? So buy as you're comfortable, see the points of value, and once you see that $5 is valuable to TXC because you believe that $20 is a reality or $15 is a reality, it makes it a lot easier to buy at 5, and we'll see that the market and the price will follow that point and that growth. We'll see more exchanges kind of building. We'll see, we'll start seeing TXC up here on the biggest mover, and when it starts popping up on this biggest mover, you're going to see more people looking to invest in it. And I'm sitting here as a crypto investor. If I'm scanning the markets and I'm looking, and if I pop over here and I like, who's making money today? Holy crap! And imagine this was TXC. TXC's up 22% today. What's that? That triggers people to come look at it and want to see it. When you look at the volume, just to kind of compare, these guys are doing millions and 120,000, 66,000, 8,000. Well, this is on PineX's exchange, and so TXC is going to be at the very, very bottom of this. Way down here, 2,000 coins. So if I'm a scanner looking for coins that have volume and action, there's a lot of coins that are far above TXC. So as we climb up that ladder and become more valuable as mining shares and also in the market, just to kind of pop in here real quick on the tail end of this, I am doing the 10-day little bot challenge. I put $100 in an AI bot. I put $100 in a custom bot that I did just to be different than what the AI did. And then I have $100 that I'm doing manual trades with. The market has been very stagnant, especially on PineX. As we are at that end of the month thing, I am just as guilty as everybody else and waiting to see if we're going to break out. I have my downtrend and my uptrend kind of forming right here. I was a victim of thinking that we were going to break out on this big move. So when I sold up at the 380 range, and then I bought back in down here thinking that this was support, and it failed and came down. I missed out on being able to sell here, but again, I was at a breakout point. I didn't want to sell for a small percentage. The strategy I'm kind of implementing with my manual trades more so is hitting the pivot points and those resistance points. So I'm looking for larger profit and not over trading. I don't want to get caught trying to trade in the middle of this and then be on the wrong side of it when a big move happens. So I'm trying to capture between 9 and 12% profit, and then I'm looking for only like a 1 to 3% pullback to get back in. I don't want to be out. I want to be in. But I just want to kind of build up, and every time there's a little bit of a pullback, I'm getting some more coins. I started with 30.1 and I got 30.59 on one trade, letting a little bit of a pullback come. I think I'm currently sitting up like 9 or 11%. I believe I caught 18% on that move in the exit. So when you compare that to the bots are holding their 5 and 1.5. The AI bot did 56 grids. So it's hitting a lot of stairs up and down. The higher frequency should do really well. when we're back into that. Sorry, hold on. Zoom out. It's not wanting to cooperate. Okay, zoom out. Back when these moves is where the high frequency, the bigger grid, or more grids will be more profitable. When there's steady moves up and then consolidation and then steady moves up, the strategy that I put on my bot was 22 grids. Again, that's just my baseball number, and it was essentially a third of the amount of grids that the AI one was using. That's going to be better for these bigger moves. So when you see big moves up like this, that bot is going to be more profitable instead of catching all these little moves. And then again, in my trading strategy, I'm looking for these wicks to kind of tell me where we're going to have some pivots. So I'm looking there, and I'm looking here. So I'm looking at the $4 level. I might, if it doesn't have enough volume, I might take some profit at the 4, and then I look to get back in at 390 or 385 or something. But I really think the next test of 4, I think TXC is going to get over it. And then I'm going to maybe seeing this level, make this one just be, how are we doing? Sure, just a little bit different. 444, that's probably and then touch there. Yeah, so I'm looking for that range to be tested. I would rather, as much as I would love for it to be on a big candle, I would love for more of these candles just stacked is inconsistent. This candle is super bullish. Small wick, big body, engulfing the entire move. Almost 2 candles. This one single candle almost took out 2 previous day candles. If this candle could have been met by one of these candles on top of it, we would probably be pretty much in this level. So momentum would be nice to build on. Right now, anytime there's a big move up, sellers come out quickly, and buyers kind of pause as soon as there's a big move, and they're waiting to see if is this a liquidity? Is this the nudge? And that mentality is gonna stall the market and stall the value of this project. So if you're believing in a bigger move, don't be afraid to buy at 5, and it just means you have to sell at 10 or even accumulate. You know, the trading strategy, you can trade more than once and put it in a bot if you don't want to do it and don't want to watch it. But if you were to caught this profit and then bought back here, and then the next move up you would have sold here, and then you could have came back and bought here, and then you would have sold here and bought back here. And every time that you do that, you know, if it's 1 to 3% or 1 to 5% on the pullback, when you sell at your profit point, then you're buying back in for less. You're getting more coins. Sometimes you might only get a half a coin extra. Sometimes you might get a whole coin extra. Depending on the amount of money you're playing with, you might get 10 coins on every trade. And then that accumulation, even if the price is only moving up 1% or 2%, but you're also gaining a whole coin or 2, as that compounds and builds over multiple transactions, you're really going to build your wallet and your profit. So both wallets. But just kind of a little recap. We are in a bullish channel right now. We are looking to reverse out of this downtrend. I would not say that we have until we get over the 422, 423 area. Let's make it be white just so it sticks out. Until over that level, the downtrend kind of holds. So I guess technically, depending how fast it is, we kind of got to get over this level and break above this downline. So looking optimistic, looking positive, should be a good week. Don't hesitate. You know, the saying goes, when is the best time to plant a tree? The answer is 20 years ago. Have a fully developed tree, healthy roots, and a good system. But when is the second best time to buy or plant a tree? And that's today. If you never start, you'll never be able to build. So I encourage you to start investing in the project as well as the mine. I don't know if it's something that you want to pitch to your mining perspectives as a combo deal, but if you're already talking to them about the mining opportunities, there's great opportunity to add coins daily that bodes well for both their wallet on the short term, for the building, as well as the long term with the mining, is getting some consistent liquidity, and maybe we save some of that liquidity for bigger project or an extra mine or something else, because it wasn't needed to build the market price, because we were able to build the market price organically without. But I will I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Probably a little bit more detail or more into the bots. I might even look into some scenarios and some simulations that you can use to talk to people about different investment strategies, including getting mining shares and coins in a shorter video that won't bore you to death. I'm hoping I'm catching you guys on your Sunday wind down and you have a little bit of time to watch, because I did get a little bit crazy on this one and go longer than I wanted to. But I love talking about this stuff, and I could talk about it all night long. So I'm going to end this now, but I encourage anybody to ask questions. Shoot me a message if you want to ask me privately, and I'll make a video, and I can either send it directly to you or I could post it for everybody. But I'm going to guess that anybody who has a question, you're not the only one with that question. So please, please, please ask. I may not be a financial advisor or financial expert. I'm not a crypto guru, but I can tell you that I like this stuff a lot, and I will go research the hell out of it so you don't have to. And then I will explain it to you the best way that I can. If my explanation doesn't make sense to you, tell me, and I will try explaining it another way, whether it be in text or another video, until you get it. Because the more comfortable you are with this, the more successful you'll be with this. It's not necessarily a knowledge thing or a skill thing that you're going to learn. It really is just be comfortable with it, and then you'll see it grow and take off, and it's exciting. So thank you for watching, and I hope I didn't bore you to death, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.